Today I am working on a bracelet inspired by Tim Burton movies. It's got these little stripy colors and kind of a strange little eclectic mix of beads, and it's a little bit not really steampunk, but I don't know, there's a little clockwork feel to some of the beads I've put together here. I've already started putting the beads on wire. I've got a few here to finish up, and then I'm going to start linking them together and add a clasp or closure of some kind. So that's what I'm going to work on today. So what I do is I take my piece of wire and I'm going to hold it right about here, as I'm going to use the pliers to help make the loop. You notice I'm not taking my pliers off. I'm holding the wire and I'm just bending the wire around the pliers. I'm not taking the tip of the pliers and trying to bend it into the shape that I want. I'm just using the pliers like a form to bend the loop. Then I'll take the tip of the pliers and I'll bend this to make my loop. Should look a little bit like a lollipop or a balloon on a string. Then I will put my bead on it, and then I'll do the other side. I've laid them out on my bead board to see if I like the way they look in this particular order. And I do. And also to see if they're going to be long enough, because I've got little inch marks around. And bracelets need to be about 7 or 8 inches, or fit a wrist that's about 7 or 8 inches. Now I'm just very gently opening one half of the loop, just enough to put my next bead on there, and then very gently closing it. And I'm not opening it this way, I'm opening it this way. If that makes any sense. People tend to want to open jump rings and links and things like that, but you want to try to keep this connection up here. You want to keep it tight. The best way to do that is to twist it open a little bit, not open it like a clamshell. Just gently twist it open just enough. I think that's another thing that I've seen people who aren't used to working with wire and they are just starting out, they tend to get very tense, and they'll grip the pliers really hard, and you don't need to. Just gotta relax, because the harder you grip, the more you're gonna chew up your wire while you're working with it. Now there is, you can get nylon. I think there's actually a coating that you can get, that you can like dip your pliers in it. I've tried that. I don't think it works very well for me anyway. There's also nylon pliers like this that, you know, could be used to gently open the wire if you wanted to. But, you know, just relax. That's just all you gotta do. You don't gotta grip the pliers real hard. You don't gotta grip the wire real hard. Just relax. And you see I'm holding the pliers still and I'm bending the wire with this hand. I'm not overworking the hand with the pliers. I've seen people do that too. They get real tense. They're gripping the pliers and they're trying to do everything like with the pliers. And it doesn't need to do, you don't need to do that. Just relax. Let leverage do the work for you. Let leverage work for you. So I'm holding it. I'm just bending it a little bit to open it. Putting the next bead on. I'm holding it. And then I'm gonna, you know, pull them back together like that. Nice and gentle. That's all you need to do. I have this one here. I really like this. This color orange is so pretty, and I put a little green bead up here like a little stem, like it's a pumpkin. Now, according to the bead board, it starts here at 3, and it goes around here to 4, so it should measure about 7 inches long, which should go around my wrist no problem, but it doesn't. There's an extra inch there that hasn't been, you know, it isn't closing around my wrist, and that's because these beads have thickness. When you have a 7-inch bracelet that has these kind of beads, right? When you make this a circle, right? And your wrist is inside that circle. If this was a chain and it was 7 inches, it might fit because it's flat against your wrist. But if it's beaded and your wrist is in there and it has beads, see, the actual inner diameter is decreased. So you have to make your bracelet a little bit longer. So you might have a 7-inch wrist, but if you have bigger beads, you're going to need the bracelet to be 8 inches long, or maybe more, depending on how big the beads are. So because we have a few thick beads here, here, you know, this is going to have to be a little bit longer than 7 inches to fit on my wrist. Now it might fit somebody else's wrist just fine. And so that's where, you know, since I'm not just making jewelry for myself, I'm making jewelry that I sell. I want it to fit as many people as possible. So I do offer, you know, if somebody says, hey, I need it to be much bigger or much smaller, I can resize it. Real people have wrists that go anywhere from 5 inches to 10 inches. You know, it just depends on the person. The average might be 7 inches, but that's just average. That doesn't, you know, mean that it's going to fit everyone. Average just means, you know, the middle between the people over here and the people over here, and, you know, people all along. You know, if 7 inches is average and you've got 10 inches over here and 5 inches over here, you know, that bracelet's only going to fit a certain number of people. I've had a lot of people come to me over the years and say, I can never buy bracelets in the store because they fall off or because they won't fit. It'll fit a wider number of people if I make it adjustable. All right. Tim Burton inspired Halloween bracelet. Slightly adjustable. I like that. That's cool. It's different. And I've got these beads, but these are orange and they look to me like little pumpkins kind of. And then you've got the orange and black swirls, which, you know, orange and black is the colors of Halloween, right? So I thought this might make an interesting bracelet. I'm just gonna sit here and wire up these beads so I can link them together. It's only 6 inches, but once we get a clasp on it and a little extension chain, I think this will be nice. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time, and I hope to see you again next time.